Men don't like you pushing up on them except when they're getting that stuff.
What stuff are you talking about?
Are you married or you married?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I just wanted to hear you say it. That's all.
You need to
That's
back
tough.
up. You need to back up, my sister. You're no longer a desperate single girl, so stop acting like one. Slow your roll. Push up.
You married now.
Amen. You can get that stuff anytime you want. Hopefully.
Well, welcome to Cliff Alert, y'all. Today we're going to be talking about Lifetime Network's reality-based TV series, Married at First Sight, season number 15, episode number 8.
And today we're going to focus on Miss Stacia and Nate. But before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you know when we upload new stuff. The episode starts off with them getting a little
champagne bottle
champagne
and
situation.
a nice card with an assignment.
I like how these married to at first sight people operate. They're always selling some alcohol. And champagne, no less.
You know why that might be?
Because they need it.
Well, not only that too, but there's some there's some truth serum in the bottles that gets him to open up and tell a real deal stuff, huh?
Yeah. So the question was, how are you experiencing love, and what will it take for the person or the couple to get to that point?
And at this point, Nate and Stacia are in the pool, right?
They're in the pool. They're chilling out. They're talking.
Right.
And Stacia, unfortunately, starts pressing on Nate. She asks them what percentage is she in according to his love, because I think last week he told her, or was it when they were on their honeymoon, that he may be falling in love with her.
Right, but he wants to take it slow.
He wants to take it slow.
Right, so Stacia, I guess, kind of revisits this episode and says,
she wants to know if the falling becomes I am. So,
Right. So she, like you said, she's pressing at this point in time because she wants an answer.
She wants an answer now.
Right.
And trust and believe, you don't need an answer now. Just listen to what he's saying. He's saying to you, I am committed. I'm in here for the long haul. I need time. And I'm feeling you, girl.
Yeah, and he basically tries to answer a question by stating that where he feels like he is right now in terms of their relationship is at 40%.
He's right, and she was in her feelings when he said that.
Yeah, I think that kind of caught her off guard.
Yeah, and he even asked her, well, did I hurt your feelings?
Right, because I don't think that was his intent at all.
No.
I think he was just trying to be honest and direct and let her know really in a true way where he is.
And I think he mentioned too that he was going to downgrade the number because, he just want to give himself room, so once he gets there, he knows. Nothing's wrong with that.
Yeah.
So when she starts pushing on him and asking him question after question, they're in the pool, now they're in the house, and she's still going in on percentage wise. I feel I'm 80% there. Why are you at a 4? What the?
Right.
Blankety
blank is going on.
Uh-huh.
Right, but I think that's because she has an expectation that she is going to hear this from him, I guess, but within a certain time.
Right.
And what she doesn't seem to understand is that she doesn't determine that time.
No, she does not. That's his thing.
Right.
And she got to get accustomed to, because, she's been the boss lady, telling people what, when, how, move this, come, go, you do what I tell you to do.
Right.
But she got to know that her husband don't operate like that.
Exactly.
He ain't on the payroll. So he has his own time. And if you listen between his words, you will be smiling more than frowning and giving him those eyes.
Yeah, he says a couple of things that are really important from my vantage point. he says that, first of all, neither one of them are perfect,
Right.
right? But he really wants to go all in and be all in for Stacia and with Stacia.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to take him some time to be able to do
And
it.
the biggest piece I found about Nick, he's not perfect. We all know that.
Yeah, none of us are.
But he said, I am willing to go with you to
The
therapy.
right.
This is a man who was raised without his mother.
Right.
His mother rejected him.
Right.
He laid eyes on her for the first time when he was 10 years old. And he is saying that, okay, I am ready to go, because he got a lot of stuff churning in there. He told her that, hey, you're further along than I am, but give me time, be patient. He kept saying in this episode, you gotta trust me, you got to have some sort of faith in me. But she's not hearing that.
No,
The more he
just
says
wants to,
one thing, she coming back at him.
Right, she just
Too
wants
much.
to check off the boxes, so to speak, and it doesn't. Relationships don't work like
It's
that.
not transactional.
Right.
You do this, I do that. You do this, girl, pull up.
Right, and I
Pull
know
up.
she wants to know this love thing question that she has before decision day. I get that part, but be patient. Let him develop and progress to that point without the pressure coming from his spouse.
Right.
Because of an arbitrary decision day.
Right, exactly.
That's waiting in the balance in the future.
So they went on a cooking date.
Yes.
And they're sitting down and talking, and she asked him about, if he has recovered from the argument.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he just felt like she was playing games, that he was manipulating her, and she was taken aback.
Yep.
But girl, that's what you were doing.
Caught her off completely off guard, and he recognized it.
She is accustomed to him just acquiescing to everything
Right.
she says. So now he realized he got to speak up.
Right, and then when he did, I guess she kind of was not expecting that part of, or that kind of response from him. So she comes back and says, "Well, I just want to get my point across."
Right.
What point was that?
No, she was playing games. This point she was was from her own idea, her own imaginary deadline that he has to come up to, and if he doesn't, there's a problem.
Yeah, I think
that's the point she was making.
Yeah, and I think there's at the root of that, and just this whole behavior from her standpoint was her fear of being in a loveless relationship.
Yes, she actually said that.
Yeah.
Now that gives you a window into what her love life was before all this.
Yeah.
Because she's leaving some kernels, a loveless marriage. This man is clearly into her. Where did she get a loveless marriage from?
I don't know. I don't know, but she just has to really, like you said, back.
She needs to.
Back up.
Because you could see the man is clearly hearing her. He's listening to her, and he's acting on what she is saying, but she's not doing anything he has asked her for.
Yeah, it's like it's her mission to get him to a place where he says, "I love you."
But it's not a mission. This is not a job. Getting the man to say "I love you" is not your job.
Maybe she missed that class.
Oh my God!
I'm just saying. Maybe she missed that class.
Girl, you're no longer single. Pull up off that man.
Yeah, and then later on he says, "Well, in terms of where they are now, I really like you."
Yeah. And that wasn't good.
No, because she seemed to say that was bullshit. But hey.
But even if it's bullshit, it's his bullshit. If he says, "I like you," and that's all he's willing to say for right now, and that's the point you're missing. For right now, I like you. That's what we're gonna.
And you know what? It kind of reminds me of stuff that something I've said prior to, and other conversations that I've had with other people, and that is that you have to take people where they are, not where you think they should be.
Right.
Or where you want them to be, where they are.
And I think the more she presses in on him, the more he's going to retreat.
Yeah.
So she buys a shirt for him and she asks him to put it on
Right.
at when they're meeting the couple.
Right. Right.
And they have a psychologist on hand.
Yeah. Clinical psychologist, Dr. Pia.
Dr. Pia.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Pia asks them, well, how are they doing? And Stacia, of course, she's so dramatic. I am lonely. I feel vulnerable. And yada, yada, yada.
And my husband, i.e. Nate, does not match my vulnerability right at this point in time.
Now, where is it written that he's got to match your vulnerability? Where is that?
Hell if I know. Hell if I know.
Where is that? I'm just curious.
I would like an answer to that question too,
and
because I have
then
no
Nate
clue.
speaks up. He said she's not. He's tired of just doing what she asks him to do and talking. He has words and he's now acting upon those words, and she's still not giving him an opportunity or to be patient enough to wait until he gets there
And believe him along the way.
Believe him and trust in him.
Right.
And if she continues along that path, it's going to be a wrap.
Yeah, he was saying that if that indeed progresses to that point, then he's going to feel inclined to just give up on the relationship. And do you really blame him at that point?
No, you don't, because I don't know what her dating experience was like, but she certainly has to date her husband. And when you're in the dating experience, you're not pushing up on the brother you're trying to hook up with question after question about his love percentage for you. You don't do that. You just go out and enjoy yourself. So breathe. Take a breath. Breathe. Whenever you want to press up on him, go read a book. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think you're preaching, sister. I think you're preaching. And I think you mentioned earlier, and I couldn't agree with you more, that Stacia is kind of behaving like this is a transactional kind of relationship. And
like it's a business.
Like it's a bank account where she deposits something and she ought to be able to withdraw something out of it.
And if you look at them closely, they have a similar background about an absent parent or what have you.
Yeah.
But I would say that Nate is more vulnerable than Stacia is being. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
I think he is really intentional about not revealing too much just yet and just taking his time to get to where it should be. And she, because of that deadline she has in her head, may not be right there for love, but she may want it so much that she believes what she's actually saying.
Yeah.
Because her love seemed to be cold. You do this, therefore I will do this. And that's not how a healthy relationship works.
Unfortunately, like both you and I have been saying, it's transactional. You do this, so I'll do that.
Right.
And that's
that's not being vulnerable at all.
And by this
that's
time,
the absence of it.
Nate is probably irritated with her.
Well, when they got back to the house, he basically told her that hey, if you don't stop this nonsense, it's gonna be a wrap for me. And then he says, is that enough emotion for you?
Right. And he said that because, and he went on to elaborate. He's like, look, this is not a me thing. It's not an us thing. It's a you thing right about now.
Exactly.
So that means that you gotta pull up.
Yes. That's what he was telling him.
And you've been consistent with that theme all of this taping, and you've been right on point with it.
And I gotta give her that when he was speaking, she was listening to him, and she didn't clap back, if you know what I mean, because some of us will come back at you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I just think she needs to just relax. For God's sake, relax.
Yeah.
I think they have one of the relationships that can possibly work, and I just want her to not try to put a stranglehold on this dude, and just let him breathe.
Right, it's not fair to
let him know that she is a safe space, because she does not feel like a safe space Because remember, he mentioned in the past he had a relationship
He did.
where he had to run after the woman.
Mm-hmm.
And the brother don't want to do that with you.
No.
Let him be who he is.
Right. It's a different kind of relationship altogether, for one, and he's in a different place, in a different space, and he's a different person.
Right.
So yeah, it's entirely different.
He's not a business venture.
Nope.
Not
Nope.
even close.
No, a whole lot more.
Indeed.
No, a whole lot more.
So that's all we have.
Mhm.
We hope that Miss Stacia, gets some sort of awareness and she backs off and have more fun. They need to have more fun than I see them having.
I think
Because she's thinking too much. They're all thinking too much of this deadline.
they've got some
They got
hurdles.
some work to do.
Right,
Yeah.
some hurdles to overcome and all that, but I think they'll be okay.
Yeah. Because their
I'm hopeful.
big thing is gonna be trust.
Right.
Anyway, that's